CZ Tactical Sports. Are you thinking about adding a thumb brake or changing the thumb brake you have on your Tac Sport Orange or Checkmate? Then this is the video for you. What's up, YouTube? Thanks for stopping by. I am the Average Doomsday Prepping Dude. So today I'm going to be showing you my Tac Sport, as well as some options you have for thumb brakes. You can see that I've drilled and tapped holes for my Tac Sport and installed a thumb brake. If you decide to go down that route, I'm going to be showing you the options you have that are available for that, as well as the different style thumb brakes that are available for your Tac Sport Orange or your Checkmate. Okay, so this is what the close-up of my holes look like on my Tac Sport that I drilled, I think last weekend or 2 weekends ago. You know, it is basically 2 holes. I try to follow the imprint of the TSO or the Checkmate holes because, you know, if later on I wanted to get something for the Checkmate or the Tac Sport Orange, I wanted to be in the same placement. I actually was thinking of drilling it further forward, which you'll see when I look at the V1, but, you know, following that imprint, I had to pull them a little bit further back. So, you know, it came out pretty good. No scratches on the frame, and I got all the burrs off, so looks pretty clean. Okay, so before I show you the 3 different thumb rests, I want to kind of show you where I naturally place my thumb when I'm shooting. I actually get really, you know, forward on the side of the frame like so. So that being said, some of the thumb rests are going to be a little bit more comfortable and natural for me than others, but that's kind of what my grip looks like without any thumb rests. So here are the 3 different versions of the CZ TSO style thumb brakes. The first version, V1, is what comes with, obviously, the TSO and the Checkmate. This actually is an Armorcraft version. I think it's identical to the TSO style. It's actually about half the price. I think this is around $45 to $50 from Armorcraft versus $80 from CZ. But you can see the ledge is very angled up, which, you know, when I get into my review, I'll tell you why I don't like that. The V2 is a little bit longer and flatter, which is nice. The one thing you'll have to note is that you will have to replace the slide stop with a pin from CZ. This is around $10. You can actually see that there's a cutout right there for it because it actually goes really far forward. The V3 does not replace the slide stop. You don't need to use that pin, but it is much flatter and much lower than the other 2. You can actually see it's below the holes. And, you know, I actually like this one the best, and you'll see why. But, you know, they're all around $40 to $50, I think, from CZ. These V2 and V3 are $40, but then you have to buy this pin, and it's like another $10. One other thing to note about the V2 and the V3, that if you go to CZ's website, the description actually says that they're designed only for Checkmate and TSO style pistols, not the regular Tac Sport. And that's because of this little spacer you see here on the V2, as well as on the V3. That actually sits into a cutout that's on the Tac Sport Orange and Checkmate that is not available on the regular Tac Sport, because the regular Tac Sports didn't actually come with the thumb brake. So Armorcraft sells a universal one, which is what this one is, that does not have that little spacer, and then they sell another one that's specifically designed for the TSO and Checkmates that have this little spacer behind it. So this is the Armorcraft version of the CZ TSO style V1 thumb brake. It's a little bit different because it doesn't have that spacer in the back like the V2 and the V3 do that I showed you. But there's 2 things that I don't like about it. The first being the angle of the thumb brake is a little bit sharp and it's set really far forward. So for me, I have big thumbs, and I think it's just a little bit too far forward and angled for me. The second thing is, because it's so far forward, the slide stop here and here really rub against my thumb, and it's pretty abrasive. You could actually see that right there. So it's a little bit uncomfortable for me, but it does look cool, and it is the kind of style that would come with your TSO if you were to buy it. So that's what that would look like. So this is the V2 of the TSO style thumb brakes. The first thing you'll notice is that you do lose your slide stop capabilities because it is replaced with a pin. And it does have a nice flatter angle and longer ledge for your thumb to rest on because of how far forward it goes. That's why you lose your slide stop capabilities. It is more comfortable for me than the V1. It does definitely have more area for my thumb to rest on. But the one thing I don't like is how high my thumb actually sits compared to my natural shooting position. Normally I like to have my thumb up against the side of the frame, but on this, because it's so high, it's actually up against the side of the slide. All right, and finally the V3. You can see that the V3 does sit a lot lower on the frame than the V1 and the V2. I like the way this feels. It actually has a more natural feel to where my thumb is positioned, that it also allows me to put sideward pressure where my thumb would normally be without a thumb brake. And then you can also see that I'm not losing my slide stop functionality like you would on the V2. The other thing that's comfortable about this is that on the V1, this area here and this area here of the slide stop would kind of be abrasive against my thumb. But you can see that because it kind of sticks out from the frame a little bit, you're actually not rubbing up against the slide stop at all. And it doesn't actually, nick the bottom, or the bottom of the slide stop doesn't nick my thumb when I'm holding it. So it's very, very comfortable. And that's actually why I like the V3 the best of them all. All right, so those are the options from CZ USA as well as Armory Craft if you've drilled and tapped your tack sport, or if you have a tack sport orange or checkmate and want to, get a different style thumb rest than the one it came with. If you haven't already, please take the time to like and subscribe, as I will be having more of these tack sport videos in the future, and I have plenty of other do-it-yourself videos for the CZ platform, including the tactical sports. And if you have any questions on anything you've seen or something you'd like me to go over, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. And thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.